All righty. Aloha and welcome everyone for a Tuesday version of the Wednesday Hawaii Travel Talk. Thank you guys very much for making the adjustment to your day or your week. I knew Wednesdays are pretty much scheduled out for Hawaii Travel Talk, but travel dates are making it so that I'm here on a Tuesday. We have it's a special guest for a couple reasons. One, I've been talking to this guy for about a year and a half about doing a live stream out at his farm. It's the Hawaii Honey Farm, uh, and it's Stanislov Abdulin, and he's going to be joining us. We're not going to do as many of or actually, we're not going to do any of the current event updates, just because we only have Stanislav for 1 hour, and that's it. And he's got a lot to talk about. I want to share that with you. Um, so we're going to get right to it. Give me 1 second here. I want to do a few shout outs here. Lance, Mr. In Between, good to see you. Wow, there's 70 people, 70, 24 on here already. Very good. Michelle, good to see you. Wade, haven't seen you a long time, my friend. You need to pay double dues. Judy Kahn, good to see you. Valentini, thank you very much for your comment today. I appreciate that. Mara, number 5, good to see you. Colleen Tui, we're going to probably see you soon, right? Unless you're going to be here while I'm gone. Cat Roy, good to see you. Good to see you. Godmother, the lady with the heavy wrench, not the heavy wrench, but she's the only one with the wrench. And she wields it elegantly, not too heavy. Marie and Diane K, Nancy Edwards. Boy, all the usual suspects are here. Diane K, you're also on YouTube. Good to see you. Shane Michael, good to see you. John, Mr. Hay, hopefully your lovely wife is around close by too. All right, guys. The only thing I'm going to tell you about is two things. One thing, the Ocean Fest is going to be coming up this next week, I believe. I believe the 14th or 15th. And we are going to hopefully have an in the field special correspondent, at least doing delayed updates and film and some video, some photos, some posts with Waikiki Wendy Silva. She's going to be here, and good on her. She's going to be volunteering for the couple of the events. I think at least the surfing dog competition. So she'll be doing some updates. And then just a reminder that I'm going to be out of town. So there'll be no live streams from Hawaii from this tomorrow till the 3rd of September. And that'll probably be a great welcomed update or a welcome break for you guys. Okay, without further ado, I want to bring on Stanislav. This guy, I know some of you probably know about his honey farm. He actually does some really innovative things. He actually did an ad that really caught my eye. We'll talk to him about that, where they were skydiving with a jar of honey, I believe. I don't think that was faked. I think it was the real thing. And when you think of a honey farm, you think of a box of bees, maybe some honey, and a guy's going to point to it and say, that's how honey's made. That's not how this thing is done with Stanislav. He does a very in-depth educational process. There's food tasting. There's some just a whole bunch of other things that's all honey and bee related. And when you start realizing what impact bees have on the environment and us and the health, it's really, really something to behold. And I want to get ahead with him and get on with him and have him tell us more about that. All right, Stanislav, can you hear me okay, sir? Can you give me a thumbs up? All right, here we go. Stanislav, let's check your audio. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you guys?
Doing good, doing good. Can you guys hear him okay? Stanislav, are you is your mic turned on? I can barely.
So. Yeah, I can. Is it better this way?
Yeah. Talk a little bit louder if you don't mind. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Will do.
Okay, let me see. I think there may be something. Maybe there's something I could do to help it. No, it's pretty low, Stanislav.
All right. How about now?
How was that for you guys? You guys able to hear him? I don't want it to be too low because I don't want you to have to strain. Audio's good. You can hear. All right, perfect. Okay, it's on me then. Stanislav, my friend, good to see you.
Good to see you too. How are you?
I'm doing great. And just so you know, about 15 minutes before we got on, he calls me and says, Tony, I have no power. All the power's out. That's Hawaii power. So up until like 15 minutes ago, we had no power. And Yeah, and we had a couple other things happen on my end, but that's great. I'm so happy to finally see you. I wanted to get out there and do a live stream of a tour, but when we are going to do that, but for now we have you in in person and live. So how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Good, good. So Stanislav, the first thing probably to ask is why would you start a Hawaii honey farm? What compelled you to do it, and how long have you been doing it?
So I've been doing it for about 9 years already, and my grandfather actually and my ancestors, I would say, did that. Originally, skydiving brought me to Hawaii about 12 years ago. I was a skydiving instructor, and I was just hiking and randomly met the bees, and it brought all the memory back from the childhood, where when I was literally every summertime spending with my grandfather taking care of the bees, and all these memories they brought me back, and that's how it's pretty much all began. I brought those bees to my house, and now 9 years later I have over 100 colonies on Oahu and 60 colonies on the Big Island as well.
Oh, is that right? You know what? I thought I'd read that, but I didn't know. I didn't put the two together. So you have, do you have a honey farm on? I mean, do you do tours on the Big Island as well?
No tours on the Big Island, just honey farms, specifically for Hialihua honey, which can be honestly only harvested on Big Island. It's a
Mm,
volcano national park. That's where we have forests of ohia trees.
excellent, excellent. So you brought up skydiving. That actually wasn't an AI. That was actually real deal jar
Yeah,
of
yeah.
honey floating at 15,000 feet, and you went over and grabbed it. If nothing else, guys, I'm going to get him to send me that video clip, and we're going to put it on Going to Hawaii because that was really really wild. I having skydive, I know that how difficult that would be to do. Excellent.
Thank you. Everybody can watch it on Instagram, on our Instagram at High Honey Farm. It's right there, pinned, and it's pretty unique. Yes,
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. All right, so you've been doing this for 9 years, is that correct?
that's right.
Okay, and where are you located specifically on Oahu?
So the tour location is in Wailua, but we have five apiaries across the North Shore. We have one on the South Shore of Oahu, and I also have four apiaries across the Big Island, mostly
Hmm.
hillside.
Okay, so if they're going to take a tour, where would they go?
They will go North Shore of Oahu.
Okay, and so you're pretty. I mean, I know where you are. I just want them to know it. So you're close enough to Haleiwa that they could put a tour or a visit to Haleiwa town
Oh
and
yes,
your tour together.
yes, that's totally. We have a lot of activities around, and Wailua and Haleiwa, they're kind of sister towns. They pretty much emerge in each other.
Excellent, excellent. So when someone thinks about a honey farm, like I mean, like seriously, before I would think there's nothing to see. I mean, there's a box of bees and they make honey and that's it. So what is it about these tours that you do that takes it's a 2 hour tour and you say it's very immersive. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Oh yeah, it's very fascinating. The whole world of the bees. The first, when we welcome people, we show what we grow. We walk them around the farm a bit and show different plants, explain how different plants affecting the bees and what's important for like a native bees or honey bees or solitary bees, all these different varieties of honey bees and solitary. Then we sit everybody down. We have a really nice educational area, and that's when we start educating everybody specifically already how they make honey, how they pollinate, and why they important. And whenever explaining the different types of the bees, about the queen, about the drones, what nursing bees do, who's mortar bee, who like carrying dead out, who, how they've been born, exactly, all different jobs and some facts, and then we suit everybody up. It takes about 40 minutes educational part, and then we suit everybody up, and then we take everyone to the hives. We have full body suits, boots, and gloves for everyone. And out at the hives, it's a hands-on experience. Everybody gonna hold the different frames of the bees. Somebody
Oh,
gonna
cool, man.
have
That'd be
the frames
cool.
with honey. we find the queen for each tour. We hope finding most of the tours also experience the bee hatch, like live bee birth. We sing happy birthday for them. We harvest some bee pollen, and pretty much, yeah, just like frame like this, even people can hold it totally. That's a honey frame, and we'll explain the difference, the frame with the bees when they raise their own the bees, or it's a honey frame, and why they do that. And that part also take about 40 minutes, 30, 40, and then we come back for the tasting part. And that has a lot of surprises actually, where we serve people with few starters, and we have the biggest variety of honeys in Hawaii. I have 12 flavors, and most of them present on the tasting part, and they don't just come alone. For example, cacao honey, we dip it
There you
with the
go. There you go.
strawberries. We put some fresh strawberries, and we put some cacao honey on it. And
So it's like that's like a honey and chocolate fusion.
yes, it just for example, this is infused honey, and we also explain on our tour what's the difference between like a floral and infused honeys. Right here, if you can see, it's a little bit. That's
Oh,
a
wow.
lot of honeys, and those one all floral. They come from different flowers, and we tell also people how bees and beekeepers can achieve this. And those was infused honeys. So florals also different flavors. For example, Ohia Lihua right here, or macadamia, the one which went skydiving, or
Yeah.
wildflowers. Wildflowers is a honey when we cannot determine the crop. For example, macadamia, they only come from the macadamia crop. And Ohia Lihua from Ohia Lihua only, which is actually Hawaiian endemic honey. You cannot make it anywhere else but Hawaii. That's what it looks like. It's
Wow, that is so
crystallized.
cool.
It's almost very light in color, sometimes almost white. But infused
So,
honeys, I take just most common. Usually it's a wildflowers honey, and I'm adding, for example, hibiscus flowers in it, and it turns to this almost magenta color honey.
oh wow, look at that.
And it's just two ingredients: honey, raw honey, and hibiscus flowers. Similar with a
So
Hawaiian hot as well, spicy honey.
so so Stanislav, just so I know, so the floral honey, like the macadamia nut, are you saying that that honey is made only from bees that hang around macadamia
That's
trees and
right, yeah.
plants?
So macadamia
And,
blooms only in February and March usually. So we bring the bees in February right to macadamia orchid. They can fly up to 2 miles far. So if they limit it with macadamia bloomers and trees, that's
yeah.
how we collect macadamia honey. Then we relocate same bees to the different crop.
How do you I know it's probably a dumb question, but how do you get the bees to go to the macadamia tree and then to come back to your house
They pretty
or your
much have
farm?
no choice because we bring them to the middle of macadamia, and if they cannot reach the forest out because they fly 2 miles far maximum. So
And they know to
imagine
come back. They know to
if
come back from the macadamia farm to your farm.
we relocate the beehives to macadamia farm.
Oh, I see. I
We
see. I
move
see.
the beehives, yes. That's why we
Wow,
also
that is
have few different apiaries. Specifically, some of the bees sitting in eucalyptus forest. Some bees sitting by the Christmas berries. That's a mistletoe plant. And if we cannot determine, that's a wildflowers honey. It's pretty much
ah.
everything around. That's our
So
most
if you
common
can't
honey.
tell if they you can't tell what plant they came from, what farm they came from, that's the one you're just talking
Wildflower.
about right there, the
Yes.
wildflower.
Yes,
How cool
wildflower
is that?
honey just mixed, and that's one of the most common honey of Oahu since we have so it's so populated here, and we don't really have a lot of single crop farms except macadamia and Christmas berries. Really, everything else it's a Big Island easier. Big Island has a like a big macadamia farms, and the bees, if
Yes.
you we just place the bees right next to them. Also it blooms February and March, and there are not a lot of bloomers at the same time. Everything starts a little bit later, So the bees, they just simply don't want to fly anywhere far, even if there is a yummy food right next to them.
How can you take the macadamia nut farm bees and put them into another
Yeah,
orchard or another, or they
yeah,
does it and they can make both kinds of honey?
yeah. As soon as macadamia stop blooming, we extract the honey. It makes it also possible to move the beehives, otherwise they're way too heavy. And then we'll load the bees to the truck and relocate them to the Christmas berries, for example, which blooms in July, August right now.
Well, you just mentioned something. It weighs too much. How much honey can one bee make in a season or a year or however
So
long
their
your job is?
colony and the hive all together in a year, they can make 150 pounds per year. However, individual bee, one single bee only makes half teaspoon per lifespan.
Wow, wait a minute. So a hive is 100 to 150 pounds,
Yes, but there are
and
50
then
to 80,000 bees in a hive, in a productive hive.
and one bee can only make a tablespoon a
Yeah,
year.
half tablespoon
Ha-
per lifespan. And, and the
Wow,
honeybee lives about 2-3 months.
wow!
However,
I
the
didn't know that.
queen can live up to 5 years.
Wow, that is. And how many of you guys knew any of that stuff? I figured a bee would live like 5, 6, 8 years, something like that, and just retire. Do they? Do they just? I guess they just die off. They die off on the ground
Pretty
or
much.
something.
The wings warning off, and as soon as it's happening, they're just getting a job like while they're being born. Also, as soon as they're being born, the job changes through the lifespan. The first 5 days, they're all cleaners. Then they're all nursing bees. That's the bees who producing royal jelly only. It's only young bees. They're like 5 to 10 days old. When they turn 10 days old, for example, they becoming construction workers. Every single bee, which is 10 to 20 days old, they're construction workers. And that's the one
Is
who
it?
build
Are
what.
you serious?
And then they get older, they separate them for different jobs. Only a month-old bee gets to fly out of the hive pretty much for the first time, but then separate them on scouts or pollen collectors or nectar collectors or like mortar bee I mentioned earlier who carry the dead out, or the bees who like just
What?
yeah. And when I get really older and they cannot fly far, most of them become guards, so they can guard around the hive.
What do you mean their job gets assigned to them? How do they know? Like if you have 5 different bees, one guy is going to be a guard, one guy's going to be a worker, construction worker. You say, what? How do they know?
They
What?
decided that they're all decided out there. It's one of the successful socialism right there. They decide when they need to replace the queen. Also, queen is not the boss in the hive.
The queen is not. I thought the queen decided everything was, or didn't decide. I
No,
don't know if it's a decision. No.
she's just a hen. She just has a job to lay eggs, pretty much.
So what? When a bee? Wow, I just so many questions. When a bee dies, what happens? Like he just falls over and dies. What happens to him? Do they eat him or?
The regular bee.
Yeah.
Then other bee, which has a job to, which is called mortar bee, it literally take it and take it out of the hive as far as it can.
So it carries them out.
Yeah, they carry them out and they just drop them away somewhere like 50 feet far from the hive.
Wow.
And
So, man, I don't know how many of you guys knew any of that stuff. I have so many questions now. So, how does a bee know to go from like a plant like off your farm to come back to the farm? How do they know to come back?
so the first, the scouts come out early in the morning and they go look for the different source of the food. And for example, they find this mango tree, which is blooming and delicious. And they come back and they perform this wiggle dance. That's how bees communicate. And by the width of the dance and the pattern, they're telling which angle and how far to take off the hive. So, and then, yeah, the army of the foragers already take the certain angle and they know how far it is, which they learn from the
Wait a
wiggle
minute.
dance. And they go that direction, and then they rely on the eyes also.
So, so a bee goes out and finds like this mango tree, which, by the way, if you have mango honey, I want to try that.
Oh, that's a
Second,
wildflower, honey, and there is a lot of mango nectar in it.
gee, many Christmas. So that bee goes out, finds a mango tree, comes back, and the way he dances and the way he shakes his booty, that tells them which angle and how far and how to find that
That's
same tree.
correct. Yes, that's right.
Well, son of a gun, I never knew that. Wow, that is crazy. Okay, well, interesting. I
Yeah,
did
we
not
show
know
that
that.
on a tour
So
actually too. Like especially if it's a morning tour, we have a lot of wiggle dancers. Like when the
oh,
scouts
you can
do that.
watch the bees do it?
Oh yeah,
Oh, that'd
definitely.
be super cool. That'd be super cool. Well, what are a couple of unknown facts in relation to how important bees are to the environment? Because, and I trust me, I know nothing about this. I'm only third party hearing this, but that I've heard that bees have such an important role in not just making honey, but in the overall ecological, plants and things like that. That if every bee died off tomorrow, we would be in big trouble. Talk about that.
Yeah, that's right. Einstein already did that math. He predicted 4 or 5 years, all the food supply will be pretty much gone if we lose honeybees. Other pollinators are also need to be respected. Actually, solitary bees. We only have 5 species of honeybees, but we have 25,000 species of solitary bees, like a bumblebees, carpenter bees, or leaf cutter bees. All those guys, they're also very important pollinators. And yeah, the worst probably things to pollinators right now are pesticides and a single crop farming.
Uh,
Those are two big issues which we're experiencing. And what it does actually to the honeybee, mostly it's a Roundup and the glyphosates. Roundup, it makes them forget how to get back home pretty much. It does that neurological damage, and the honeybee
mm,
cannot return home anymore. I'm sure everybody sees these bees on the shoreline beach crawling on the sand, and those are lost bees. They pretty much can't find the hive anymore. They can see some water, so they end up by the water source. And whenever whoever made the Roundup, whenever they tested it in front of EPA, and they sprayed it on honeybee, it didn't kill it instantly, but they forgot to mention that they're gonna make this neurological damage, and it pretty much dies within 3-4 days, anyways.
wow. So how do you combat that, Stanislav? How do you protect
Uh,
them from
mm,
pesticides?
we first the biggest combat in the long term is educating people about it. We just tell about this to schools, different pop-ups, farm tours. Second combat, we keep our bees away from pretty much as far as we can from residential areas. That's where a lot of people they just spray those things without even knowing how bad it is for themselves.
Wow. I don't know if you. I know you're concentrating what you're saying, but there's. I don't know if you see the comments, but I highlighted a comment there on the screen from Cheryl Mack. She had a question. It says, Stanislav, have you had problems with disease in Hawaii and lost any hives?
Yes, of course, we do. For example, 2 years ago, I lost 50% of my colonies on a big island, for example. It was literally 50% loss, mostly due to
Oh my
small hive
goodness.
beetle. Sometimes it's a bit too rainy. It's a perfect conditions for the small hive beetle, that's a parasite which attacking beehives. And yeah, when otherwise they're pretty healthy. We would try to keep them away from humans. We
Yeah.
only have one location, which is pretty much in close by to the neighborhoods. That's when we educate people. That's our main farm tour location. But it's convenient for people to see us. And
Well, what happens, Stanislav, if you lose your your hives in Big Island, how do you replenish them? Do they
Oh
breed or
yeah,
mate or whatever you call
I call it clean the hospice at first, which is sad
it?
at first,
Yeah, but
and it takes way more time to clean it than to pretty much just take care of the regular inspection. And then I have to pretty much creating new colonies. I split hives, we're making new queens, and we split the hives in the springtime. We do bee removals. We save the bees from random people houses, walls, cabinets. We do provide the bee removal services. Also do
that I
some
was going to ask you about that. That's interesting. You go and
joining.
you actually remove it. If they have a hive at their house, you'll go and
Oh
remove it.
yes, yes. We have
Can you,
quite a few big like removals done, and even in some like a cool military projects that even some people from Pentagon actually visited our farm tours last year and were very impressed.
what can you, I mean, do you, I don't know, dumb way to say it. Do they retrain themselves? So if you go get bees from a church in another part of Oahu, do they train themselves when you bring those bees back, or do they fight with the other bees that are already there?
No, they have their own home, so they have no really. There is a little competition only in the winter time in Hawaii for the bees when most of the bloomers kind of slowing down and there are not a lot of food for the bees. Like most of the northern states, bees just hibernate, so they don't fly around. But here in Hawaii, they do still compete. So in the winter time, it can be an issue, but it should be over the 40 beehives in the same AP area. That's when it becomes a little issue.
What's the biggest predator? Not the I know the pesticides are probably the biggest threat. What's the biggest predator to a honeybee?
It's a small hive beetle probably here, and they have mites living on the bees. Those can be a problem as well. But in Hawaii, probably the biggest predator is human.
Really? Why? What do they do? They just kill them? Like,
Spraying around, doing. For example, right now they fight a CRB, the coconut rhinoceros beetle. So I had to move all
oh,
the hives away, far away from the coconut palms and
yeah.
parks, just because state doesn't follow up, and sometimes they don't cut the flowers off, which is supposed to do. It's like highly toxic pesticide which they injecting the trees, trying to control the coconut rhinoceros beetle. However, there are way better organic solutions, which some people talking about it, and I don't have any rhinoceros beetle at my farm simply because we don't kill our ants. We don't spray nothing. So ants is a great biological pest control for multiple different pests.
Because they eat the pest, huh?
Oh yeah, they eat the larvae. They find it just simply in a mulch for ants. It's not a big deal to find the larvae of CRB. But if the mulch all poisoned and everything is poisoned and nobody in there, so yeah.
Uh, what would you recommend that like a consumer, whether they're in Hawaii or not, what are a couple things that they can do to help not hurt or to help make honeybees in their area flourish? I mean, we probably don't see a lot of honeybees unless we go to honey farm, but what is it we can do as consumers to make their lives easier and better?
The best way to help the bees is to help the beekeeper, because literally, if you're supporting through purchasing honey products straight from the beekeeper, avoiding the middleman, most of this income it goes straight back to the bees. It just goes straight. It's like a big honey boxes rotation. All this equipment, we're constantly getting new queens for them or new equipment to make queens to reimburse the loss through the winter, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And
what else can we do like that on a personal level? Would you say never use any pet? Like I'm sure a lot of people have plants or gardens at their house. Would you say don't use any pesticides ever or what?
Oh yes, please don't. There are so many solutions with like a just vinegar and like a really organic solution which simply kill the plant right away. Or personally, I don't mind just to bend over and pull that thing out once in a
Y-
while.
Yeah, just do the work for the bees.
Just
Yeah,
pull the
interesting.
weeds out and no, just pulling the weeds out, not spraying. That's the probably the biggest help human can do is stop using the pesticides.
And how long did you say the bees live? I'm just making notes here. How long does a bee live?
So the regular honeybee lives about 2-3 months lifespan. However, the queen up to 5-10 years.
Okay. Can you, if you don't mind, could you walk through the timeline of what happens, like their first 5 days, their
Oh yeah,
workers and the
the
construction?
interesting fact actually that they both came workers and the queens. They both came from the same egg, and depends on a diet when that egg being raised, who is gonna be a worker who gonna live only 2 months, or the queen who can live up to 5 years. If they feed the egg
Fascinating.
royal jelly only, it will become the queen. If they feed the egg with the royal jelly for the first 3 days, that's what every single egg gets. Royal jelly for three
Wow.
days, and they switch them to honey and a bee pollen, and it develops as a worker. However, if they never introduce honey and bee pollen, it will become the queen. So,
All right.
and
And what's the work? What's the category of work that they do? And
so
the
the
yeah.
first, when they've been born, first 5 days, the cleaners, they clean around the hive. As soon as they hatch, and when we're done singing happy birthday on a farm tour, that's what we do. We tell them, here you go, now it's a cleaner. First 5 days cleaning around the hive. Then they develop another secretion, the secretion which makes royal jelly. So they're becoming nursing bees. That's the bees who giving those that royal jelly to the eggs. But that secretion lasts only for 5 days. So whenever they turn 10 days old, they be developing different secretion which makes wax. They literally have this organ which makes wax, and they become construction workers, the one who build all the wax structure inside. And then they over 20 days old, they already split them on a different jobs.
Wow.
So
Well, that's crazy.
a,
All
a
right.
lot
So
of
I
them.
know I mean, it's interesting that it's almost like a homing pigeon that a bee can fly out. You said what, 2 miles is their range?
Up to 2 miles usually, yeah.
Up to two.
However,
They
they
can
don't
fly out.
go far if there is something close by them.
Okay, so they could go to like you said, a macadamia plant or something. Then they come back. I think that's fascinating. Did you guys know that they come back and they sit down and they dance and tell them how to get the other bees how to get there? I assume that they fly in a swarm until they find someplace and then they jump on it like a plant and then they all come back at the same time. That's fascinating.
Swarm is
What?
actually is the way to multiply. Whenever the swarm means successful and they're making more bees. And actually, swarm is the most peaceful state of the bees at all
The
time.
swarm
Whenever
is?
the swarm is
Yeah.
the most peaceful usually when the swarm.
Wow. Wow. So let's talk about that. I have so many other questions and we'll do it on a live stream. And I really do appreciate you coming on. Guys, if you have questions specifically for Stanislav, start putting them in the chat here. We've got to let him go right at 2 o'clock straight up. But I do appreciate you. I wanted him to come on 3 weeks from now. I'm glad he came on right now. It's really good. And just by the way, just so we'll mention this, he has their tours are about 2 hours. We're going to be doing a giveaway for 2 of those. I'm probably going to talk him into, depending on how much Hawaii product or honey product you guys buy over the next month or so, we may be able to do more. But those tours are really cool. He explained them more in detail to me, and I'll have him do that at the very end. But it's really, really cool, and it's a great way to spend 2 hours. Great way to bring your kids out and explain to all this cool stuff that I didn't even know about the bees. But let's talk about the products. What is the variety of products that you have? Like you have candles or honey and all types of things. Let's talk about it.
So, do not sell any candles. I sell wax in a bulk for people who want to make their own candles. We sell bee
Oh, wow.
pollen right here. You can see it.
Right from
Well,
the source. Wow, I bet
there's
that's good. I love bee
pouches of
pollen.
bee pollen. Did you know that half of the weight of bee pollen contains, it's a clear protein. Bee pollen contains more protein than chicken or steak. And that's the
Is that
main
right?
Oh yeah, and that's the main source of protein for the bees themselves. That's the main food. Honey is pretty much the preserved food for the bad days, and bee pollen, that's what they eat daily almost.
So is
The,
that Stanislav? Is that the same type? Because I know a lot of people have gone. They go to the place to get a smoothie and they get a scoop of bee pollen.
oh
What's
yeah,
the difference between that bee pollen and the bee pollen in your hand? Is yours more pure or?
it's the same pretty much. Bee pollen, you can sprinkle it on your smoothie. You can substitute your protein powder just by adding a couple spoons in your smoothie. You can sprinkle your fruit balls, acai balls, even poke
How long
balls.
does it take to make that much? How long does it take to make that much bee pollen?
Well, it's depends a lot on the time of the year, on the location, on the health of the colony, but they can make this much in like few hours if it's a
Oh,
strong
wow,
colony.
wow. And I just wanted, before you go down and list some more of your products, can you tell us which products are made there on your farm, or do you ship the honey off somewhere and have it bottled and brought back, or is it all self-contained there?
Everything made at the commercial kitchen here by the farm as well. Right at the
Oh,
farm,
wow.
obviously, it's a beehives, and that's where we pull the honey out. And yeah, all the bottling processes in a different, not straight at the farm.
What is your best-selling product, would you say?
Out of infused honeys is a hibiscus, definitely. Hibiscus honey, it can be your jam substitute for a house. That's what I
Wow.
do my pancakes with.
How much is
And
that? How much does that jar cost?
it's a $15. Most of the honey is around $15.
You were telling me you have like a collection or what's that? The sample pack or a big pack or
Yeah,
what's
it's
it called?
called Ohana set. You can find it on a website as well. It's called Ohana set, and it's one of each. It's a 9 jars, all different flavors.
And how much
And
is that?
I think it costs $120 if I
And that's
remember.
for 9 jars? Wow,
Yes,
that's
that's
good.
right.
Okay.
We also sell propolis ointments. This is a great if you get a cut or any skin condition, skin damage, works similar to Neosporin. If you heard about propolis, that's a great substance which bees make from the tree saps and tree resins. They literally collect propolis from tree sap, and they're turning into this defense system. That's the immune system, pretty much, for the bees. They
Wow.
propolis inside the hive any pathogens. They even create it's the building material and immune system. And I'm making these ointments. This is my grandfather's handwritten recipes, actually. And only 3
Wow.
ingredients: bee propolis, beeswax, and a coconut oil as a base.
I was going to ask that. What's the what are the ingredients? I'm assuming that the honey that you have, there's like very minimal. There's not preservatives or anything like that in the honey.
Oh yeah, it cannot be every single honey will crystallize depending on the time. For example, and that's a proof it's real. For example, oh here, Lihua, you're gonna be coming already in your mail if you do online orders. It will already be coming crystallized for sure because it happens only a month. I extracted and I only have 2-3 weeks to bottle it. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to scoop it. For example, Christmas berries, macadamia honey, it stays runny for longest time. It can stay. Christmas berries can stay runny for up to a year. That's the honey which went skydiving, macadamia.
Oh
You
yeah.
can
The skydiving honey.
You can also find 4 of the flavors actually in every foodland who lives on island. These honeys: spicy, hibiscus, macadamia, and cacao. We have 18 foodlands on island, and every foodland carry this 4.
Oh wow, that's cool. So
And
is each jar $15 or does it vary in price?
some 14, some 16, around 15. Yes.
Yeah, so it's average $15. Okay.
Yeah.
One question, because we have a lot of Australian viewers. Can you ship to Australia?
Not yet, unfortunately.
Oh,
Unfortunately, not yet.
yes.
The honey is very heavy, and we use USPS flat rate, and we ship every state on island. Full, excuse
But
me.
if you received a big enough order or enough orders, could you just charge them for it? Could you charge
Probably,
them
of
more for it?
course, yeah, we can probably.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we could, because I know, I'm sure that you can. It's just going to cost you a little bit more, you know.
It usually costs, for example, jar of like this to ship to Japan. It was about $30 of shipping cost for $15 of jar.
Wow. Wow.
So,
What are some of the health benefits of honey? Just honey by itself. What I understand, and I know I have this wrong, but they say that it's best to eat the honey that's built or made in your area. Is that right? How am I getting that wrong?
that's only if you're fighting the allergies. Then
Oh,
yes,
I see.
definitely. Because a lot of bee pollen, whenever we extract honey, a lot of bee pollen goes inside the honey. So raw honey, unfiltered, it contains a lot of local bee pollen from your area. So that's what is really good for your allergies. However, if you live here and you eat local bee pollen, that's even better than local honey to fight the allergies. But the honey
Bee,
from many places, they're all beneficial. It's not just bee pollen. There are a lot of enzymes and microelements which actually helping you. It doesn't matter of the location of the hive.
wow, interesting.
Some nectars they carry certain benefits compared to others, like well known, like a very marketed Manuka honey. It has some good health benefits, but other honeys they also have exact same. They're just not marketed as much as that one. And Manuka is so expensive because they have to carry the hives on the helicopters towards the Manuka plants, which I like to grow up in the mountains with no road.
Wow, interesting. What if you? I thought of a question what if you're allergic to bees? Should they not come out to your farm? I mean,
They should let us know definitely about this. We can just extra protect them. We have boots, we have all the equipment, and we'll just open the kind bees only. We have different hives. Some of them just like humans, some of them feistier, some of them kinder.
is that right?
Oh yeah.
Some bees. So some bees. Wait a minute. So the bees have personalities, like some are easygoing and some are mean as hell,
Oh
like
yes.
Lance. Okay.
Yes, just like humans, and more than that, even factors like a full moon is affecting humans. They're getting a little bit moodier. Same thing with the bees, exactly. Also, when they're hungry, they're really angry.
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. Well, Stanislav, is there anything that you want to leave us with? Any comments,
Um,
questions, any facts about honey that we've not
so
covered? I'm
I
blown away.
I want everyone to put this matcha infused honey on vanilla ice cream, and let me know about it.
Oh, is that your favorite one?
That's getting one of our most popular after the hibiscus, probably, and it's my daughter's favorite dessert, which is just simply vanilla ice cream and matcha honey all over it.
Wow.
Delicious.
Do you sell Stanislav? Do you sell this at where do you sell it in retail stores here on Hawaii? In Oahu?
On Oahu, I sell 4 flavors in every foodland. Also, fruit stand by the location. She carries quite a few flavors. Right where we do tours, we have there's a fruit stand outside of the farm. and she carry our honey. We have them in a Mele bakery. It's by the sugar mill as well. It's a new place. I really recommend. They also buy bulks of the honey. Few restaurants we supply honey restaurants with like a 5-gallon bucket.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Do you supply or do you sell it at any of the farmers markets like Kakako or
Currently,
Aloha?
not the farmers market. Trying to
Okay,
educate people that they just can taste it here at the tour and order online without risking TSA taking it away or breaking it in the suitcase. Honey is heavy also. A lot of people get excited. They try to carry a lot. It's heavy. Easier
right.
just to place an online order.
Can someone said, can you just stop by the farm to buy it, or do you need to buy it on a tour?
You need to buy it on a tour or make us a call. Sometimes we are open and we're around, but sometimes we have some angry bees also around. This is why it's appointment only. We have to prepare.
Yeah, I bet so. But everybody can buy it at your store
Oh
online
yes,
on your website.
online and fruit stand outside the farm, which is farm location. She's only off on Wednesdays, but every other day, yes. There
Oh,
is
so they
time.
can come to the farm, but it's just on the roadside. That's
Yes.
even better. That's cooler. That's a cooler experience to buy it there. All right, guys, in the chat there, let's give Stanislov a little bit of going to Hawaii love. Let's tell him aloha. Thank him for his time. If you would, I'd appreciate it. Stanislov, is there anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to leave us with? You and I are going to get together. I'm going to call you back probably on Thursday, and we'll get this offer put together. And I want to get this giveaway going for you and get you a bunch of business and a lot of tags on your site. Anything you want to close out with?
I would like just to thank everyone for supporting our bees. Thank you so much. And see you at the farm tour.
Yes, for sure. All right, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, man. Talk to you later.
Bye bye.
Aloha. What? Are you kidding me? How many of you guys knew that? That is crazy. I think that is interesting as heck. Wow. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. So we're going to put together, this is what I know so far, that we're going to put together a special discount code for GTH, of course. We're going to be doing a couple of the tour giveaways, like it'll be one tour per family. But I think it would be fascinating. What about you guys? Put in one if you think you would do the tour. Maybe put in a tour if you think you wouldn't do it. You may be afraid of the bees. It's too far out of the way, too expensive. You could care less about honey. What one if you want to do it, two if you don't, because I want to kind of measure as to what the interest level is. And thank you guys for the likes and the shares. We have 60 viewers and 62 likes. We had like 81, I think, at the most, but that's awesome. Yeah, I think this was fascinating. We have some other people that we're going to be bringing on, but so what do you guys? Well, let me finish watching your counts come through here. Cassie says yes. Shane says yes. Dana yes. Valente. So it seems to me like all of you would do it, and I don't think that many people think about it. They may see a honey, they see a honey farm advertised, like, why would I go see a bunch of bees? But I think the educational and just seeing the the process, I think it's fascinating to me. Yeah, it's fascinating. So what do you guys think about the last several interviews and guests that we've had on? I mean, we've had Sean Kanapole, Sean Storm, Denny, JK at the High Five Hawaii, then Stanislov. I think it's pretty cool that we get a different variety. And I mean, we show and it's just not all activities and attractions and tours and things like that. What do you guys think? Yeah, it's difficult that you guys can't buy it, but you could bring it back. Like when you're in Hawaii, you could buy it, put it in your. Can't you do that, Lance? Can't you put it in your? Some of you, Steve and Shane, can't you put it in your suitcase and bring it back? Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting to get just a variety of people. The Chinatown guy that we have now, Chinatown historian, is going to be put off a little bit, but probably by the time I get back, we have like 5 really good, really cool people coming up. And then we're going to have a revisit with JK and a revisit with Sean. Sean and I are going to do a Let's Eat when I get back, probably go to Ray's or maybe Prime Roast. I'm going to take him there. So we'll do a live Let's Eat with Sean, Hawaiian Traveler. And just to let you know, guys, just as a reminder, we did a post. You did a post earlier today to list off all the campaigns we have running, and they're all going to run through this Saturday. That's the High Five Hawaii Tour signing up. Doing the tags. We've got tags for the Aloha Motorsports, the giveaway of the slingshot. Also, the offer for the slingshot that you rent it for 2 hours, you get 4. Rent it for 4, you get 8. Rent it for 8, you get 24. What's the best part about it? Parking at International Marketplace. It's almost worth it to do it just for that. And then, as always, another partner of ours, wonderful Stephanie. She has her artwork. Orders over $60, get 20% off. Yeah, orders over $60, get 20% off. And then also, Sean Storm, Hawaii by Storm. I'm really looking forward to hearing more about Cassie Vegas's and Mr. Cassie Vegas's visit and the tour that they do on Maui. All right. Any other questions? Any other comments? All right, guys, just a reminder, you're going to get a break from me starting today. Today's the last day. I'm actually going to go out in about 1 hour, and Mr. Ann without an E and Ann without an E and Kathy Martinez. If you guys are around, stick around. If not, watch the restream or the replay of this tomorrow. I think you'll like it. We're going to go do a little something for you guys. Maybe keep your mind off some things. See, Lance, why can't you say something like this? I don't get it. Oh, here's one I can't even put up, but it says, Tony, you are so nice and so smart, and you are so giving, and you should not have to put up with Wendy Silva's nonsense. And it's too bad that Wendy is so mean to you and doesn't acknowledge your mentorship and guidance through Hawaii and life. Yeah, that's a long one. I can't put that up. I can't find it. All right, guys. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure today. You'll see me one more stream, probably in about 45 minutes or an hour. And that's probably going to be it. And we'll call it good. You probably won't hear back again till maybe actually Thursday. I may be doing a live stream from La Jolla Village. We'll see what happens. All right. All right, guys. Thank you very much. And we will talk to you later. Thank you very much for coming on the stream. It means a lot. Aloha.